Okay, so I guess just to start for both of you guys, obviously you went through the two exhibitions. I guess just what do you feel like you guys learned the most from those two games, and yeah, how do you kind of go about implementing that going into tomorrow?
Mm. I think preseason in general is just a lot of trial and error and just figuring out, okay, what's working, what's not working. And I think from our two exhibition games, we've learned a lot, obviously. We beat UMKC 3-1, and then we lost 2-0, 3-0, 3-0, and then we lost to Memphis 2-0, which was obviously, not our standard, not what we were wanting from that game. But despite the loss, I do think we did learn a lot about um, just like priorities as a team and kind of just like getting back on track to what our we want or what we want at the end of the season and what our goal is at the end of the season. Yeah, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I think we just played two completely different games.
Mhm.
You play UMKC, who isn't in a super like large conference, and then you go play the American conference leader for the past like 4 years. Like
Mhm.
it was two very different games, and I think we are just trying to get to our next step of building a full 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And then for both of you guys, obviously there's a lot of returning players from last season. I guess just how do you feel as though that's helped you guys in this, I guess, early part of the year, and how do you kind of feel that, I guess, the newcomers have kind of come into the fold?
Yeah. I think a lot of our I guess last year we obviously had a good bit of seniors, but I would still consider our team like kind of young.
Mhm.
So I think a lot of the young kids got a lot of good experience, a lot of playing time. Like we're obviously, we've gotten used to playing with Vi and Nat and the young kids. So I think that's been um something just like I don't know if you would say like comforting or just
Mhm.
like we're just used to that already. And then I mean, we enjoy the young kids. They're working hard. They're wanting to learn. And I think they've done a good job of just trying to keep up with us and trying to learn as much as they can.
Yeah. I think our another big thing is like you can have so many people return, but it's a matter of like how they play when they return. Like
Mhm.
you can bring back people as much as you want, but it's a new year every single year. It's how you step on the field.
And
Yeah.
then have you guys, I guess, just what stands out about Baylor, and yeah, just what have you guys seen out of them going into tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a lot of SEC transfers, which is kind of interesting. They're basically the SEC team at the Big 12, we think, and like they're super physical. And I feel like it's going to be a basically your top two SEC uh, game in August.
Like that. Yeah, I think I mean they've obviously had a really good program. I don't know the past how many years.
Yeah, they've
I feel
had
like since I could remember. We played them a few springs ago. Um, they obviously were a really tough team, put up a good fight. Yeah, I think this will be a really good, like real first test for us. Real as in like this game is not an exhibition. And so yeah, I'm excited. We respect them, and it's gonna take a lot for us to get the result we want. So yeah.
yeah.
And then last one for me, I guess, just obviously Vi stepped into a pretty big role as a freshman last season, and obviously performed really well. I guess just what did you guys see from her when she first stepped into the team, and how do you feel as though you've seen her kind of grow as a player up until this point?
Yeah, she um kind of was a little bit of a different style soccer player than what Arkansas has currently like what's we've been for the past few years. And I think she's really helped us in understanding like we can play multiple styles of soccer instead of just what everyone likes to say we do, which is just kick and run.
Mhm.
And I think she's done a good amount for our program in like the recruiting aspect of knowing that like, okay, we can get girls from California, specifically like Presley and Mackenzie Gwynn and girls coming from teams, I mean, from like different clubs that we don't usually get, which were typically in Texas and Kansas and Oklahoma and like those teams. And she really just like helps us like with the ball, especially like in front of goal. She's dominant in front of goal. And when you're in late games in the season and early games in the season as well. When you're playing hard non-conference teams, you need those kinds of players to step up.
Yeah. Adding on to that, I just think it's something really special that we as seniors can, trust our younger kids on the team, and Vi is definitely one of those. She's always producing, and I'm obviously very happy to have her on the team. But yeah, I think she's a great addition, and yeah, she's love playing with her. Love it.
Brett, you got anything?
Sure. I know stylistically, Baylor's probably different than you guys with what they like to do. Is there any value to going back and scouting them from last year or without having played a game this year? How do you, I guess, prepare for a team that hasn't played?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of the times like programs just try to repeat a little bit of the same thing that they've done in the past. They are returning a good amount of their players, but a lot of those players we've seen play already.
Mm.
And we have good insight of where they're going to be at on the field. And honestly, like it doesn't really matter how they play, it's a matter of how we play. Like as much as we want to say it's about the scout, it's really not. Like we know that if we show out and we give 100% of our effort, we have the best attitude, and we are bigger dogs than they are, we're going to win the game.
Yeah. I mean, as much as the scout does matter, like you're saying, like it is a completely new team for them as well. So, um, yeah, I think just being ready for anything, I think that's gonna be part of our success.
Also seems like they have a tremendous keeper who's very experienced as goal scorers, and I'm talking to two of them there. How much do you enjoy that challenge right out of the gates to go up against a top-notch keeper?
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously going to be what we need, just to set us on course for where we want to be in postseason. So I think that's, yeah, a great challenge, a great opportunity for us. I mean, all respect to, yeah, as well. She's a great keeper. Yeah, I mean, I think we're excited for that challenge, and same with younger kids and the rest of the team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah, one real quick from me. I mentioned going on the road and playing Memphis. They're a very strong program, expected to do a lot of good things this year. How important was it for y'all to go and play a really good team and on the road as well and get some experience doing that before the real season starts?
I think it was more important for us to lose that game, because if we go into the season thinking we're hot, we're moving, and we're gonna have our first match against Baylor, we're gonna go into that thinking that we can just like slide right through that. And I think that Memphis game really helped us just understanding like this is gonna be hard. Winning is hard, and you're gonna have to gut through some things and come together when things get hard. And the whole game itself made us really understand like what we can be and what we also can't be.
Yeah, I think, yeah, the game against Memphis was super important. And obviously it's still a little fresh, for us. And so I think kind of carrying that into, our game tomorrow, I think that's going to be helpful. And just, you know, yeah, I think the game as a whole was beneficial for us on and off the field. Just, figuring out what's working and what's not working. And yeah.
And then one last one for me. You mentioned, that game. You said you didn't play to the standard you want to play to. What is a Colby Hale post game locker room like when you have a game like that? What is kind of the what does he say to y'all after a ball game like that?
Yeah. I mean, I think he's obviously, if you don't know who Colby Hale is, he's very honest, very blunt. Which honestly, like, that's what I value that a lot, and I like that a lot about him. Just the honesty, and yeah, it takes courage, I feel like, to do that. But I think just hearing what maybe we don't want to hear, but hearing what we need to hear is definitely something that I would, try and explain a post, game like that, locker room. Um, and yeah, I think like sometimes you don't want to hear certain things, but I do think our post game talk was very beneficial. It just, yeah, I feel like he does a good job of just, sorting out like what's working, what's not working. this is how we're going to be successful. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, that kind of thing. But yeah, do you have anything, Dan?
Yeah, like she said, he's super blunt about it. We know when we don't perform because we can tell in the score. More times than not, we know exactly why we didn't perform well. And most of the time, like, it's either like figure it out, get it together, or like we need to come together and figure something out.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Joe. Colby here. Anthony, go ahead.
Yeah, after the Memphis game, you talked about, needing to
Hey,
to
first
put
of all,
together.
I didn't know you're you're allowed to use the word ass on your articles. Like, I know that's what I said, but I was like, can he do that?
I it wasn't taken out, so I suppose so.
All right, go ahead.
But yeah, so yeah, obviously after the Memphis game, you talked about the importance of putting together a full 90 minutes. Just since that match, just how have you seen the response kind of come together from the team, and what have you seen there?
Yesterday was good. We talked about building the foundation to being tough, right? Like, I think sometimes we were using the analogy of they were picking out we're building a house and they were picking out the pillows to put on the couch before we got the foundation done. Like, you have to do things in order. And even though that's not the necessarily fun or sexy part of building a house, you could argue it's the most important. And we're in the build the foundation and put up the framing. And it can get pretty fun, but you got to get that stuff right, or it doesn't matter what kind of pillows you are because your house falls down. So, we just talked about being tough and being good at the things that we're good at. And I mean, we have some good players, but gritty, not pretty is kind of what we've been saying. Like, we got to be tough to win the game. And I thought for 60 minutes we were good, and then 30 minutes we weren't. So 90 minutes it's going to take. Memphis is a good team. Baylor's a good team. It's going to take Loyola's a good team. Like, it's going to take 90 minutes against these teams.
And speaking on Baylor, obviously, a lot of SEC transfers coming in, and obviously a good team year in, year out. I guess just what have you seen just in looking at them as you look ahead to tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, very good team. I think where they go Sweet 16, Elite Eight last year. Um, I mean, that's a very good team, an elite goalkeeper, very well balanced. They defend well, they attack well. I mean, it's going to be a big challenge.
And then just, with just looking back at both exhibition games, I guess just what were the biggest things that you feel you learned about the team in those two matches, and how do you feel as though you kind of go and I guess build upon that, starting tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, we figured out some things we do well, some things we need to get better at, and we've been focusing on those things, right? It's like we said, we're kind of in the build the foundation, build the framing. It's not always the fun, sexy part, but it's the most important. And we have a very distinct culture. We're very clear in our expectations. I kind of said to him after the game, like, guys, yeah, I told you what this was, right? Like, everyone else may be a silver lining group. We're not. We're not just going to focus on the 60 good minutes. We're going to say nine. That's not enough. Our goals aren't to try to win some games. Our goals are to try to win all the games. And we're good enough. Our A game, we believe our A game could beat anybody, but our B game's not going to be good enough to beat most teams. So, Memphis is a really good team. Baylor's a really good team. Like, that we put together a schedule that's super competitive. If we want to win all these games, we got to play. We got to play hard. You know.
Yeah, and talking about that last 30 minutes against Memphis, you said you guys, or you felt that you guys got outcompeted in those 30 minutes. Were there any factors that you saw in looking back at that film that maybe led to that you guys have been addressing in training or anything like that?
No, I mean, I was joking. The only thing is we were awful for the first 60 in the first game and good in the last 30. So maybe they thought if they put the two games together, it was one complete game. Um, no, I don't know. I mean, if I knew the answer to that, Anthony, I would be a trillionaire and I wouldn't have to coach anymore, right? Like, it's just human dynamics and human nature. And I'm sure I could point to some stuff, but those things would come across as excuses, and we don't really do excuses. So, they played, that we played. It was a beautiful night. We should have played 90 minutes and we didn't.
And then last one for me for now at least, I guess just as you go into, the regular season opener tomorrow, I guess just how do you feel, the returners with the group and I guess the newcomers have kind of gelled together as you prepare for first game that counts towards the official record.
Yeah, I mean, we talked with our senior leaders. They were like, "Hey, what do you need from us? Like, how do we fix it?" And I said, "Well, I need you to be awesome soccer players." We kind of showed them a stat in the years that we're good, our seniors produce, and we needed Bella and Ken and Sussy and them to score a goal. We needed Ren to stop a goal. Like we needed our top older players to be studs. Those years we had Parker Goins and Taylor Malum and Kayla McKeon and B. Franklin. I mean, if you go, you got Kate Doyle. I mean, the years were good. You could list numerous older junior senior players in that group that were fantastic players. And I just said, we need you to be that. Like when it's a close game in the 87th minute, we need someone to step up and win the game for us. We need you guys to be, because we have some freshmen that are actually playing really well. I thought some of them did well, and they're going to contribute and they're going to play. At the end of the day, you traditionally you go as far as your seniors take you. I mean, there's the one year we were really good. I think Anna Pottage was a freshman, maybe had 14 goals, but the seniors had 35 goals. So the freshmen are going to step up. The sophomores, they're going to play some good games, but we need our older players to be really good.
Samuel? Oh, he's not anymore. Oh, he is. You got any questions?
Oops, sorry, I was muted there. Yeah, Coach, you mentioned, putting together such a tough schedule. You went to
Real quick,
Memphis.
is this on TV? Because I got a pink princess sash and okay, good. I mean, I don't care. It looks a little weird with the pink princess sash and two tiaras sitting behind me.
All good, Coach. You mentioned putting together a tough non-conference schedule. Obviously, you went to Memphis and played a really good Memphis team on the road. With how deep the SEC is year in and year out, obviously you want to win these games in non-conference. But how big is that that your team is prepared to face elite competition whenever you get to SEC play, and that they're battle tested already?
It is very important. We put the schedule together. I mean, you know me though, like I care about one thing and it's Baylor. We put the schedule together for that. When we play Baylor, we're not thinking about the league, we're thinking about Baylor. Like we gotta find a way to beat a really good Baylor team. So when me and Sandy do the scheduling, yeah, we certainly think about those things. And we really like the schedule. But the only thing we're not talking about NCAA tournaments or seeding or Final Fours. We're talking about how do we beat a really good Baylor team.
Anthony, back to you if you got one.
I've got
Is there
nothing.
is there a reason why there's a pink sash and the tiaras? I mean, I guess I have to ask for a follow-up on that.
There's no telling. Every day I walk in here, there's some horrendous picture drawn of me. It was my 50th birthday 2 days ago. Some horrendous picture that says "Happy 50th, Colby," hand drawn by one of the players, and it is not flattering. So there's no telling.
What, any
And it,
special 50th celebration then? That's a big number. You just can't, grind past that because you're in training camp, can you?
I know it's crazy. So, well, I mean, me and my wife we went on a couple places in May. She turned 40 this year. It's kind of funny. Our birthdays this year, my family are 10, 13, 16, 40, and 50. So all pretty big milestone birthdays. Um, but my wife and I went to Nashville and Las Vegas in May just to kind of celebrate some things kind of in between our two birthdays because we knew once it got to the season, it'd probably be pretty tough to do much.
Well done. Well experienced coach planning.
I'm not smart, but I'm not stupid. I can tell you that.
Any other questions?
Appreciate you guys. Anthony, you can put there that you can put in the article that I have a pink sash in my.
You're gonna put it
I'm gonna have to watch my words from now on. I read that my brother sent me that. He was like, "That's funny. I didn't know they could say ass." I was like, "I'm pretty sure." Anthony was like, "If I don't say it, Colby's gonna be like, I said ass. Why'd you say butt?"
I mean, maybe. Maybe I'll get the sash in there. We'll see what I can do.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.